Happy Friday, everybody. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web. We're going live from Midtown Manhattan. Happy Valentine's Day. If you got a loved one, grab them, bring them close. I love it. Craig even, he brought me a Valentine. Craig even knew the dance. He did the little dance. David Medina. Okay, on the way.
What's up?
So, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We're going to start with the message of the day. I quote this gentleman often, and I ask most people, you and I haven't had this conversation yet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
Of course.
Of course. Okay.
Yes.
If he would be, he would be my Valentine.
Yeah.
This is a good one. You're not lazy. You just don't love what you do.
Ooh.
He tells it straight. It doesn't have to be a long, elaborate one. And we'll come back to why I chose that for you today.
Okay.
Besides that, you're one of my dojo husbands.
Oh, thank you.
There's lots of love. What up? And the heart reappears. We're gonna do that a lot today. I will really tie this in because of something you said early on, like at that focus group that we did at Della, and it's come up with so many people lately. And that quote, I just saw it yesterday, but it tied it all together, and I was like, I got it. I know what it is, and you really inspired a lot of really great things.
Awesome. Happy to hear that.
So I'd like to introduce my guest today. Well, I don't want to mispronounce your last name. Why don't you introduce yourself? What's your name?
Craig Selinger.
I would have messed that up.
Yeah, it's Selinger.
I'd have fucked that up. Sorry. Yes. My husband, I don't even know his last name. My dojo husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah has seen me practically in tights, so at this point, it doesn't matter what my
skinny,
last name is.
And I fantasize even
It's
further.
It's hot.
Oh, it's very hot. And you're from Long Island, is that right?
Long Island,
Yeah.
Massapequa Park.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And now you reside in Brooklyn.
Yeah, we live in Windsor Terrace. We're like a
Mhm.
few blocks away. We pass each other every morning. We drop off. Jeremiah drops off his middle child. I drop off my oldest. And we get the high five action going on. Get the juices going.
He's got some little sprinters too.
Oh, yeah.
Mini Carl Lewis's.
No
in the
joke.
house.
Yes.
And prior to, actually, I'll admit this live because it's Valentine's Day and we're professing our love for each other. Before the heart comes back out, before you came to that focus group, I just thought you were just like a neighborhood weirdo.
Oh, really?
That I got to beat up on in the dojo.
Really? That's so funny.
And then you exposed yourself to me in a new way, and I was like, I think I love him.
Oh, thank you. Interesting. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah,
later.
we will talk more about that. So why don't you tell people what you do? What puts you in the hot seat?
In the hot seat. Yeah. So what do I do?
Besides follow me around and
I gotta keep yourself busy. So what do I do? So it's interesting. So the whole entrepreneur thing, I label that myself because of you. So here's more love.
This is great.
Yeah. So at Della, at Jeremiah's restaurant, he had a really cool event where it was a bunch of local entrepreneurs. We got together, had a great conversation. Awesome food, by the way. And no, it was really good.
Don't forget to tell them the address. Oh my God. I'm kidding. Say hi to Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, what's up? What's up? So at that point, I kind of like finally labeled myself as an entrepreneur. I'm now 41, and it took me about 40 years to do so. Before that, which I still am, I'm a licensed speech language pathologist.
Still an entrepreneur? You're still 41? What are you saying?
Yes.
You still love me?
That will always be there. And
for those that are just listening, you're missing all the great. There's so many hearts.
Oh, it's Valentine's Day, 2020.
Go ahead. All right, continue.
Yeah, so I'm a speech language pathologist. I'm a learning specialist. I'm a father of two, Windsor Terrace resident, an entrepreneur. And those are some of my labels.
What's your business? What's the name of your business?
So I have two businesses. One is called Brooklyn Letters, which is a speech language pathology, and there is some tutoring involved with that. And then the other company is called Themba Tutors, which is all tutoring. And
gotcha.
Yeah.
And these are largely digital formats, and you connect with people through that way. So it's kind of like the Tinder of speech pathology, right?
Yeah. It's
speaking of love.
Yeah,
it's like the Bumble of speech tutoring.
Yeah, it's a good way. I'll use that. Welcome to Brooklyn Letters.
We're just getting started too. It's gonna be a long show.
Welcome to Themba.
I'm gonna try to make Craig.
Do you find this tutor speech therapist cute? What do you think?
And the heart reemerges.
Yeah.
But they're largely digital engagements, and that connects you to live people.
Yeah. So no brick and mortar. The thing what you do with brick and mortar scares the shit out of me. Like totally scared. Seriously. Like I have mad respect for people that do brick and mortar. People like myself,
like training with me, right? It just
exactly. Exactly. I'm like, when we're training, I take the heart, I rip it up, and
so upset at the end.
Yeah, very. And then we come together.
Yes, we hug. Yes. We do.
But yeah, totally different. The whole like having online websites, to me, it's funny. To me, it's easy. It's really, I know to other people it seems scary.
Yeah.
But to me, it seems easy. It's like if you fuck up your website, it's like, to me, it's like, let's say there's a problem in your kitchen, right? That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Where a website, not a big deal. Like in 20 minutes, you erase it, you fix it. Nobody sees it. Nobody
Department
knows.
of Buildings doesn't come
They
in.
don't
The
knock
fire
on your
department's
door.
not finding you. Yeah.
Nobody's bothering you. So like for me, it's pretty easy. It's very low risk to me.
Yeah.
Financially, there's like anyone could have a website.
Right. Do you have any rent?
Yeah, exactly. No, like you can have like a little kid could literally have a website. It's nowadays like everyone, if you have something of value where you can offer your service or a product, you should have a website. It really doesn't take much time or financial, you don't need much
right. The
commitment.
cost of entry is pretty low.
Yes, exactly.
Compared to, I'd say probably something like restaurants, certain retail establishments, and like construction and contracting. Those are big cost of entry.
God,
kind of, and even construction. I mean, you're making brick and mortar. You're not necessarily brick and mortar because like a lot of guys don't even have offices anymore. But you're making it, and it's still like all those headaches and that crazy stuff is there.
I would crumble. I would. No, I would. I
say that, but
I would. I'd be tapping out like.
Yeah, I was gonna say
day zero.
You haven't cried from my jiu-jitsu hold, so you might make it.
Well, it's been a while. Jeremiah, he was injured for a little bit, so we'll be back at it. So we're back. I can't wait.
So yeah, there's the resilience that comes with that, and I really think I would love, like, my fantasy would be to have like a training camp, not even like an internship. This would be like your college. Like, forget going to paying all that money to go to school.
Real life stuff.
Instead,
real life stuff.
Come work for me between retail and service, and I'm not talking about permanently. I'm talking about 6 months to a year. Really learn the ropes, learn how to interact with people, learn like what's behind the scenes, what does it really take, ask all the questions, learn what it takes to start something like that up, and then go do your own thing. And if it happens to be digital, you have the resilience, you've got the thick skin, but you've also got, hopefully you leave with a sense of gratitude. Like, this is not that bad. I have no real room to complain because there's not running water, there's not fire, there's not the potential for like, sheetrock to fall out of the ceiling. Like you said, it's a digital hiccup here and there.
No, and that business model is great because I think a lot of people are scared to make that leap. And I think just people like structure and organization. And
there is no structure.
Well, no, there is no structure, but you are creating a bit of structure. And I understand what you're saying, that when you run a business,
it's like martial arts. Like Professor Carroll's always saying, we're making order out of chaos.
Yes.
And for the longest time, I thought I loved chaos.
Yeah.
Because I always went into these chaotic situations. I loved busy restaurants because it's chaos.
Yes.
It's total disorder. And I always thought that's what I wanted. And he was the one who pointed out to me like a year ago. And he was like, I think you actually like order.
Interesting.
And that's why and I was like, interesting. I was like, you're right. My sock drawer is impeccable. I do. I love to make order out of chaos. And I realized at that point why I get into so many different things is because once I make order out of something and it's running smoothly, I'm bored. And I'm like, no.
You drop the mic and you're like,
I'm like, I got to go find some more chaos, but only to make order out of it. So that was a really revealing situation for me. And I think it's important for entrepreneurs in particular, but any kind of business owner or somebody that wants to, if you're a freelancer or whatever, that's the best perspective, I think, is to keep in mind, just wake up every day expecting chaos and try to make some order out of it. Pat yourself on the back for your accomplishments, like be a good finder, another martial arts value. And don't, don't sweat the failures, if you
But
want to
that's
call it
also
that,
really good life advice,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about parenting, right? You've got a little one, you've got 3 kids, but like when you have a baby and they're really young, it's fucking chaotic.
Yeah.
And I think parents need to just lower their expectations. They, particularly when you have your first child.
Did you see the interview that I did a distance interview with a guy? I posted it to like Instagram. Oh yeah, this was just a couple of weeks ago, and he is a younger guy, and he posted something about he wanted to purge all of his baggage and negativity before having kids, and I just laughed in the comments. Oh, a parent just and he was like, oh, what, do you have some input on that? And I just said something. I was like, they'll help you get rid of it. And he was like, would you like to be on a interview? And
No
I was
way.
like, yeah, sure. So
that's great.
It was probably only like 15 minutes, but
check that out.
It was I was in rare form that day, and the kids were all around me. I did it from the apartment, but it was video. And for the closing statement, he was like, what's the last thing you want to say to parents, potential parents? And I was just like, exactly what you said. You're just like, don't. This was like the weekend after Kobe Bryant crash and everything. And I was just I mentioned that I was like, you just never know. Like, forget about all of your expectations, all the things you think you want. You have no idea what the future holds. Most importantly, it's just like, enjoy the moment and enjoy the fact that you got this person that loves back to the love. Oh, look, Nancy's here, Chico's here. That's Charlie.
Oh, Charlie. I saw Charlie at the co-op yesterday, 2 days ago.
Oh, Windsor Terrace or Park Slope?
Oh, sorry, Park Slope. Sorry,
No, I'm kidding.
sorry, Charlie. I didn't mean to get in trouble.
No, it's okay. I'm teasing. But yeah, just definitely, and you've got this little person that just like adores you for the most part. I got one. I'm not sure. kidding. And just to enjoy that moment and just really, again, it comes down to forgetting, if you have a business and you have all these expectations for it, like monetarily, what success looks like, all that stuff, and you go in that way and you're unwavering in that, coming back to martial arts, just being able to be in the moment and like, oh, I would love to get this armbar on you, but you're not letting that happen. But the setup for that could lead to something else really good, which is usually what happens when you and I train together.
Yes. I'm really good at escaping the armbar. I act like I'm out, and then
that's what you think.
People get caught.
We'll see.
Like, whoa.
We'll see what happens. Anyways, and I think parenting there's really great advice in that as well. It's just with your kids, sure, you want them as your business and yourself in life. You have these expectations, you have these goals, but if you're steadfast and hard on like the actual finite vision, you can really miss a lot of nuance and some great opportunity and piss a lot of people off along the way.
Of course.
Just seems like failure. There's a higher rate of failure that way, where if you just like decompress a little bit and enjoy what's happening.
You have to be grounded with all of your endeavors. Whatever you do, it always boils down to being grounded.
And like, how do you find that?
Yeah, sure.
That's hard.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Well, we're gonna pontificate on that for a moment and maybe hug.
Sure.
A bit more.
It's Valentine's Day.
I might choke him. We'll be back in a few. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web.